To episode 6 of No Art School. Today I'm working on a piece. It's had a rather decent turnaround. This one is a piece that I initially wanted to make in regards to the Kentucky Derby. Black and white painting, which, was a bit outside of my challenge level whenever I was first conceiving recreating this image, just because I was getting comfortable, with what I was working on when I was in Italy. Like, I think I had a few like monochrome style paintings, but this one I'm just kind of like throwing myself into after last week's critique, when I kind of revealed to myself that maybe I should just work based off the image in black and white, because I'm not going for perfectionism anymore. I kind of got the go ahead from the group to just kind of like embrace my current skill level. And looking through some older drawings, like, I have the ability to replicate an image to a degree, but I think that it doesn't serve me, it doesn't serve anyone who's going to see my art to see this, like, awkwardly postured attempt at like a hyper realistic painting. It's just I'm a very emotional painter. So impressionism, fauvism, those are more up my alley as far as like style and technique. And I feel really happy to just be kind of like walking into a new challenge with, you know, my wits about me, painting something that I wanted to paint, and like kind of tackling the texture, because I'm figuring out how to still use color in a way that tells the story that I want to tell about this scene. It's an interesting scene because as I look at the photograph and work on the painting details more, it seems to be like this group of men who are at the race. A lot of them have like food or papers, like they've maybe placed bets. There's one man sitting on the side of a Coca-Cola crate, and he's drinking a Coke. And this piece of work is just giving me a wonderful opportunity to present my style for what it is, vibrant, even without colors. I'm having so much fun with their style in this piece because they all have on like sunglasses, aside from one man who's looking away from the camera. All are well dressed with like a button-up shirt, suspenders, jackets. Like, it's a pretty interesting scene. And as I'm painting like the outer parameter of the work, this is just going to be a brief video. I get to see the crowd is just like people who are, white. And this is pre Jim Crow, or else like around the start of it. But it's interesting to revisit this history in the context of what I'm creating now. And I was challenged last week to find a more substantial reason for creating so many depictions of people of color in my work, because it's important to me to gain this sense of like community, even if it's invented inside of my head, as far as like my ancestry goes. That's one big reason why I'm having so much fun with these Kentucky Derby paintings, is because I get the energy of the scene, and it's so fun to like hang out in this energy of like these guys who are like, just hanging out on the day of the race. I don't know who took the photo in relation to them, but even in my regular studio practice, I have slowly but surely learned to manage my time a little bit better and a little bit more lovingly, in a way to where I am my own employee. I'm working for myself, and now I'm like starting to explore new mediums of presenting what I do in the background, as advised by one of my favorite astrologers, Aquarian Insight. I'm just feeling like there's more to be said and done, and I can do it with gentleness to myself. Like, allowing myself to be seen is big. I, in my first video, said I felt invisible, and now I feel like the whole dating myself is going to another level, because I'm doing it like in a way that like only encourages me to further express myself and to tap into my other skills of like just like working with the technology that I have to make something that, can put me in touch with my family who we're all living in different states. My friends who are, not living in the US and who I don't get to see every month or other weekend or on whatever basis I see my own friends here. Because all of us, we circulate, we buzz, and we do what we enjoy doing. I was just chatting with my friend Isabel, and she was saying, or maybe this was Kenneth, she was saying that we're like progressives moved to New York. And I remember a time when I was called stubborn by someone who, is privileged, thinks that they know better, and was projecting, not relating, because those are two different things as I'm learning. And to project is to claim truth over someone else's experience, and to relate is to claim truth over one's own experience in a way that is like open to receiving conversation. And as I learned to just hold space for my wishes, my heart's desires, my talents, and put structure to it, I'm finding that I can listen more easily to other people. I want to give more. And, I have to just thank the people who've just been there to hold my hand during this time of like shifting lanes from being comfortable showing up for someone else's dream and getting paid and feeling compensated enough to keep showing up to transitioning to like not knowing when I'll earn my next like paycheck or wondering if it'll ever come in the same traditional way that it has. And I will never say never because, I believe that the changes in this world are coming up for reasons that will better the world and our experience in it. And I'm so fortunate and I feel so blessed to be where I am today. Like I've worked through my imposter syndrome of not wanting to spend time at my studio because I still was going through this drought of like being in Italy and having the dance theater Balletto Teatro di Torino. Um, I said that with a really funny accent. To going back to being in New York and like not having the courage to go and approach dance companies in the same way because they already have, these like walls of like you have to get there within their time frame. And sometimes I just struggled to like find my own footing and trust that the actions I could take, not did, could be worth whatever I could receive back, like a lot of hypotheticals. And now I'm just going for it. I'm swinging the axe. I'm chopping down the firewood. I'm making hay while the sun shines, a less harmful to trees metaphor. And it feels really good to paint and to show up for myself and to allow myself to explore. And I really hope that the energy will be returned in like an opportunity to do this on a different scale or to do something else that I love in a way that will allow for me to still participate in my art and studio practice. I know that like the open studios is coming up, so that'll be something that maybe all of my work will be really lit and I'll find a really good way to display it because that's one thing, like not having a roof in the studio and not having walls kind of keeps me from doing is like, some artists maybe who are aware of the open studios, they know to prepare their space for whomever might come in. And because Trestle is pretty nice, like it's just in a hard to reach area from like Bushwick traditionally, and maybe even a lot of people in Manhattan, they just won't want to be bothered with coming to Brooklyn. It's just something that I am willing to be a part of this year, even though there's still some missing pieces to my puzzle and figuring out like ultimately where and when everything will look the way that I'm ready for it to look right now. Everything is happening in its own time, and I'm just happy to see like what happens, truly. Um, and outside of like having, some astrology things imminent, having the chance to really just like channel my energy creatively into my dreams is a first that I feel is just being timed so beautifully with this In My Secret Club because, just like today, I don't know if I ever finished the story, but like having the chance to play dress up when I feel like I just need to go in and create and be ready for the critique tomorrow. Like, it's like, no, slow down. You need to remember to dream. And that's a powerful signal to get from the universe is like, don't forget the dream. Like, what do you really want out of this experience? Because each moment that, like, a dream comes true, we find our way, the relief comes in from figuring whatever problem that has arisen out, getting to the solution that'll allow for like a next step. Those are all wonderful and great, but truly for me, I'm seeing more and more that like the journey in its wholeness is equally important. I'm gonna stop rambling on and share one of my songs from this EP that I'm working on. Whether or not this can be considered like a radio show, I don't know yet. I feel like I'm just like doing what comes up every day with a different approach, a different step in the dance of dancing with the cosmic. So thank you for listening and enjoy. So, if you've listened through to the end, that was a song titled Jupiter's Justice. And we'll see when this project is completed. I'm not sure yet, but I so appreciate you taking the time to chill with me while I paint. See you soon. Ta ta. Bye.